Really, this should be slightly higher up, but this is gonna have to do. What is my eyebrow doing? Why is it always that one eyebrow looks better than the other? Hi guys, and welcome back to Irony Completed. Today's video is going to be, per your guys' request on Twitter, conspiracy theories. My fave conspiracy theories, because let me just go away iOS update. Let me just show you the Twitter poll that I did. Do you think you guys wanted to see conspiracy theories? I think you guys wanted to see conspiracy theories. Right. These are like my favourite ones to read about and research and watch videos on YouTube. I'm a big fan of Dyke, Kaylee Elise, all these like murder mystery, conspiracy theory, creepy video people on YouTube. I watch a lot of them. I watch a lot of like list videos, top fives, Planet Dolan, like all those kinds. I watch the creepy videos. I like a lot of the videos where they do creepy lists and stuff. I also just like reading about conspiracy theories. I love watching shows like Unsolved Mysteries and fictional ones like X-Files was my jam last year. I still love X-Files a lot. So these are just my favourite ones that I read about and enjoy learning about. These are not necessarily conspiracy theories that I 100% believe in. Some of them I just think are really fun and interesting, and I don't necessarily think that they're real or believe in the conspiracy, but I just enjoy them and wanted to talk about them today. Some of them I do think are real, and I'll tell you which ones I actually kind of half believe in, beginning with the first one. This is everyone's favourite conspiracy theory at the moment. It's really big on YouTube, and that is the Mandela Effect. Who's surprised that I'm talking about this, because no one should be. I fucking love the Mandela Effect. It's so interesting. I do kind of half believe it. I also kind of half believe it's horse shit, so, you know. If I look like I'm looking down, it's because I made notes on my phone, so I'm reading off my phone. I did a little bit of research on this myself. Sorry, I have a really bad cough. I did a little bit of research about this myself after I watched a ton of like videos. Shane Dawson did videos about it, Tana Mojo, loads of people have done videos about the Mandela Effect, like really popular YouTubers and stuff. But I actually did some research, and there is a psychiatric term for it, which is confabulation. And basically the Mandela Effect and confabulation just means when people remember things as happening one way, but they actually happened a different way. The reason that it's named the Mandela Effect is because a bunch of people supposedly say they remember hearing about Nelson Mandela dying whilst he was still in prison in South Africa, but obviously he actually died out of prison many years later. I think it was in 2014. So basically people think that they remember him dying in prison when he didn't, but people remember it, and they don't just like think they remember it, they remember it really vividly. They remember the news footage of it, they remember photographs and articles and people crying and talking about it in national mourning and stuff like that. So people like really believe that they remember Nelson Mandela dying in prison. Other really famous examples of it, and these aren't like super interesting ones, you've probably heard of a lot of these before, is the Berenstain versus Berenstein Bears one, which I didn't grow up in America, so I'm not familiar with that particular set of children's books, but that's a really popular one. One that really freaked me out is Sex and the City versus Sex in the City. People remember it being Sex in the City, but it's actually Sex and the City. And can I say, when you type in Sex in the City comes up when you type sex into Google auto search, you know? It's Sex and the City, which freaks me out because I always thought it was Sex in the City. That like makes way more sense to me. People even have examples of merchandise that say Sex in the City on it, and it's like official branded merchandise that says Sex in the City. Another really famous one is the fact that Darth Vader never actually says, "Luke, I am your father." He says, "No, I am your father" at the end of the film, so people remember it being Luke, I am your father. It's like such a big, well-quoted phrase, but actually it's "No, I am your father." Similarly, in the Snow White movie, people always remember it being "Mirror, mirror on the wall," but if you actually watch that movie back, and this movie's from like the 1930s, it's "Magic mirror on the wall." But again, "Mirror, mirror on the wall" is such a well-known and popular phrase, and kids quote it, like everyone knows it, but it's actually "Magic mirror on the wall." So those are just a few Mandela effects. There are loads of theories as to why this could be happening. I mean, obviously the psychiatric explanation for this is the confabulation thing. You can look up confabulation. It's got a whole Wikipedia entry that talks about it, and it's like a diagnosable condition, so maybe we all just have confabulation. Other more like conspiracy theories about why the Mandela effect happens or exists range from all sorts of things, but my personal favourite one is parallel universes, because I want parallel universes to be real. Multiverse theory is one of my favourite scientific things. Look it up, super interesting. Another one of my favourite conspiracy theories is mostly because I'm a big like literature nerd, and that's the theory that Shakespeare wasn't actually Shakespeare, or rather that a lot of Shakespeare's plays weren't written by Shakespeare. Basically there's very little like biographical information about Shakespeare. Like the stuff we know is pretty vague. People, they can like trace a man called William Shakespeare, but a lot of people think that he didn't actually write all of the plays that are named as being written by Shakespeare. Popular theories about who actually wrote these plays include Francis Bacon, Christopher Marlowe, and the Earl of Derby, William Stanley. There's so much like mythologization around Shakespeare, which I know because I did a module about him. Like, he's so mythologized. People like really hold him up to this like mythical, like godlike figure or something in English lit. You know, he's probably the most well-known author's name, or at least classical author's name. People hold him up to this like huge like mythologized status, so it wouldn't be surprising to me if not all of his stuff was written by one single man. There was even kind of a joke about this, or like the plot of the second Centurions movie was kind of joking about this, but it said that Shakespeare was actually a woman. So it's quite well known in like popular culture and stuff. If you look it up, there's some really interesting like hypotheses about it. I find it really interesting to look up. I don't know whether I believe it or whether I believe, you know, he wrote all of them, because other thing about English literature at the time is that people borrowed and like rewrote each other's stories all the time. So like The Taming of the Shrew is actually based on a play by someone else earlier, and then it was also rewritten by someone else later on as well. So there's like lots of different versions of stuff like that, which is super, super interesting. One of my absolute favourite ones, and one that I kind of like want to be real, I don't know why, I just do, is the simulation hypothesis. Basically it's exactly how it sounds. People think that we are living in a computer simulation right now. I'm gonna link below a video by one of my favourite YouTubers, Dakota Wint. I'm going to link that down below. He did a whole video about the fact that we could be living in a simulation, and basically, yeah, people think that we are currently living in a computer simulation unknowingly, or that we could end up unknowingly living in a computer simulation sometime in the very near future. Even Elon Musk, who is like this really quite famous scientist, a really smart guy who's helping with the efforts to colonize Mars, even he says there is a 1,000,000,000 to 1 chance that we are currently living in a computer simulation. So he is himself interested in the simulation hypothesis, which is enough reason for you guys to look it up, in my opinion. People even say that they see like glitches in the matrix or glitches in the system. So you'll see photographs of like people dressed the same, 3 people in a row in a queue somewhere, or in a restaurant, or on a bus or something. I've seen loads of pictures about it. So people believe that we are living in a computer simulation and sometimes it glitches. Basically, I was talking to someone about this, and we were like talking about the theory and how there are actually computer software systems so intelligent that they can reproduce themselves inside of the system. So like there's a computer simulation that will reproduce its own computer and reproduce the system inside of it and carry on reproducing itself. I was talking about this to some people in one of my modules, and this American kid said to me, whether we're living in a computer simulation or not, we can't do anything about it, and it doesn't really affect our lives that much, so fuck it. And it was kind of a like light bulb moment to me, because if we are living in a computer simulation, that's like pretty cool and pretty weird and whatever, but what can we do about it? We're still living in a computer simulation. People who can do better explanations of it than I can, like I said, I'll link the Dakota Wint video down below, because I thought that was really intriguing. Go look it up, it's super, super interesting. Here is another one I truly believe, like pretty much 100% with all my heart, and that is the conspiracy theories surrounding Big Pharma and pharmaceutical companies. So basically a lot of people have been saying for decades now that pharmaceutical companies probably have the cures for a lot of diseases and illnesses that are labelled incurable. So for instance, AIDS and cancer and other conditions which are considered treatable but not necessarily curable. People think that pharmaceutical companies actually have the cure to these diseases, and they just don't want to give them to people because pharmaceutical companies can obviously make a lot more money if they sell treatments to people that maybe help them a little bit, maybe prolong their lives, so they have to keep using the treatment but don't actually get rid of the illness, than they can if they just sold people a cure that would cure it instantly or after a few treatments. Family Guy even made an episode about this where Carter had the cure to cancer. Like, if you do research on it, it's actually pretty believable because pharmaceutical companies are pretty evil and pretty corrupt generally, especially because a lot of pharmaceutical companies are based in America, and obviously in America you can make a shit ton of money giving people treatments and hospitalizations and prescriptions because they don't have national health care like they do in the UK. So like I said, this conspiracy theory is nothing new. It's been around for absolutely ages, but I still think it's pretty believable, and the way the world is, I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out to be true, because we've been giving money to cancer research charities for years and years and years, like literally decades, and not much progress has been made in the way of like heading towards a cure. So I don't know, what do you guys think? And the last conspiracy theory that I want to talk about in this video, I don't know if you could necessarily count it as a conspiracy theory, but it's something that I'm really interested in, and there are lots of conspiracy theories surrounding it, so I'm going to include it anyways. So I wanted to have 5 because that seems like a nice round number. That is the 27 Club. Now, the 27 Club in and of itself isn't necessarily a conspiracy theory, it's just the name that's been given to a disproportionately large number of celebrities who all died under suspicious circumstances, tragic circumstances, at the age of 27. In the 1960s there were a few deaths that happened around the same time who all died at the age of 27, and people thought that was an odd coincidence, but the term 27 Club wasn't popularised until after the death of Kurt Cobain in 1994. I'm sure you all know, but Kurt Cobain, the lead singer of Nirvana, died from shooting himself in the head. He committed suicide. And there's been loads of conspiracy theories around Kurt Cobain's death. I can make a whole video about that if you wanted me to, if you're interested in me talking about like Kurt Cobain conspiracy theories. That's something else that I'm super interested in. People consider it really weird that such a large number of controversial and influential figures all died at the age of 27. Some really big names include Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, the lead singer of The Doors, and quite recently Amy Winehouse, who all died at the same age and all died from things like suicide, drug overdoses, murder, violent deaths, and so on. I don't want to suggest like a conspiracy theory reason, because I think that unfortunately the world of celebrity often leads these people to go down a dark path. Depression comes along with the job a lot of the times, and so does drugs and alcohol and partying and that kind of lifestyle. But people have all sorts of conspiracy theories as to why so many celebrities die at the age of 27. You know, the Illuminati, to people deliberately getting celebrities hooked on drugs, to gang-related stuff, to just like straight up murder. It's really interesting to me the stuff that surrounds this conspiracy theory as opposed to the actual 27 Club itself. But again, there's a Wikipedia page about the 27 Club if you want to find out who the people are who are on it. I'll link the Wikipedia page down below because it gives like a full list of the names of the people. One of the most recent ones was Anton how do you pronounce his name? Anton Yelkin? I'm bad at Russian names, who died in 2016. He was crushed to death by his own car. So it's still an ongoing thing. People are still becoming members of the 27 Club, which is really sad, obviously. One of my favourite things to look up and to do research about, so you guys should research it if you're interested. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Something a little bit different for me, but I actually really enjoyed like doing research for it and picking my favourite conspiracy theories and all that kind of thing. And it's fun to talk about something a little bit different with you guys and to do a different kind of video every once in a while. Please let me know down in the comments what your favourite conspiracy theories are, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you did enjoy it. If you'd like me to make more conspiracy theory videos or more videos about specific conspiracy theories on their own and like talk about just, like I said, conspiracy theories surrounding Kurt Cobain's death, conspiracy theories surrounding like UFOs or like that kind of thing, then let me know what you'd like to see from me. Or if you hated this kind of video, then let me know too and I won't make any more. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram or Facebook, they will all be linked down in the description along with everything that I'm wearing and what's on my face right now. The only other thing I wanted to say before I ended this video was that I'm cutting my videos down to 1 a week instead of of 2. Usually I upload on Sundays and Wednesdays, and I think I'm only going to be uploading on Wednesdays for the foreseeable future, just for the next like 2.5, 3 weeks while I get my dissertation finished, because it's going to be a really, really stressful time for me, but obviously still want to keep uploading for you guys. Just wanted to cut it down slightly so I won't be as stressed. I hope you guys understand. So that's everything. Keep an eye out for my video next week, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye!